Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, AI Learn, Build, Earn workshop. But before we start our workshop, let's do a little quick energizer first. So let's all rise, let's all stand, and let's get ready to be energized. May I request Mary to lead us?
Good afternoon, everyone. Can't hear you. Good afternoon, everyone. Wow, the energy. So before we start our workshop this afternoon, we'll have to let go of our energy through a quick energizer. So this is called immersive interaction warm up. I think there are those already know about this immersive interaction warm up. All we need to do is follow the steps in the video. So are you ready? Okay, so let's start. More action, more action, button. Clap your hands. think we are ready now to let us begin.
Okay, so welcome again, everyone, to our to the OpenxAI Learn, Build, Earn workshop. And so to start, may I request everyone again to please stand for our opening prayer and the singing of our national anthem. Okay, so let's pray. Dear Lord, wonderful day and for bringing us all together. We ask for your guidance and wisdom as we learn new skills and explore the world of technology. Bless our speakers, facilitators, and all the participants. May this workshop inspire us to create meaningful innovations that can help others. Grant us focus, creativity, and collaboration. We ask all this in your name. Amen. Please remain standing for our national anthem.
Bansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, helas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Upang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagkaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na naghihingi, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang ay di maghihingi. Luman ang araw ng walhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya na pagkay mga ay ng dahil sa'yo.
I would like to first introduce the amazing team we have here today. So I am Zaira, and I'm your host for today. And we have here Irish, our registration and orientation lead, Mary Grace, our games and logistics coordinator, John, who will be joining us online, who will be our lecturer, Zor, leading the tech booth, and we have also our partners, Devcon Bukidnon and the ICT Bukidnon. So I'll give the floor to Irish to introduce to us the our founder who will be speaking to you this afternoon.
Alright, good afternoon, everyone. Is everybody having a good time so far?
That's great. That's great. Okay, at this time, it is my great honor to introduce someone who has been instrumental in making today's workshop possible. A visionary leader who believes in decentralizing AI and empowering individuals to build, innovate, and earn. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founder of OpenxAI, Ashton Hitiachi.
Hey guys, give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Hi everyone, can you guys hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Ashwin.
All right, awesome. Great start, guys. I think I have to learn how to do this kind of events in other places. So it's great to see you. Amazing energy. Hi everyone, my name is Ashton. I'm calling to you today from Dubai. I normally based out of Australia, Sydney. So it's glad to see you all. Thanks for coming, especially on a weekend. So today, my job is to give you guys a little bit inspiration about OpenxAI, but more importantly, what's going on in the AI space. I think it's good to understand what's happening in the AI space. Whether you want to be a builder, if you want to be an engineer, if you want to start your own startup, I think it's great to understand what's going on in this space. So I'm going to share a couple of slides with all of you. Hopefully that will give you some context and also some idea. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Someone has to give me a thumbs up if you guys can see my screen. Whenever you're ready. Can you guys see my screen? To double check. Can someone tell me if you guys can see my screen, please? Okay, cool. All right, awesome. All right, so let's just get some basics. AI as a technology, AI is the most, I would say, the most advanced technology that human have ever created. It's not the steam engine, it's not the rocket science, it's not the car, it's not the smartphone. It's it's the AI, because it's the most impactful technology that we invented. So if you look at AI as an industry, AI is, we are going through a S curve. So what does S curve means? Like when you have an industry, new industry, or a new technology or new innovation introduced to the world, it normally goes through a cycle. Like for those who familiar with internet, I'm sure you guys are young, but if you speak to your parents, they will tell you the transition between like not having internet and then having internet. It's basically changed the world. People used to be in silos in different regions, and internet gave them an opportunity to become like a global village or a small village. So I'm able to speak to you now. You get to see me, everything through internet. And it took some time, right? So early days internet, it was concentrated across a small regions, especially in the United States, and then spread across to the world. Now internet is widely adopted. Now internet is kind of in the late phase of the adoption. So AI is kind of a similar. So today AI, if you look at the AI evolution, today it's kind of like we already had a big hype, especially in the Western countries, with the introduction with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is the first, I would say, a practical use case for anyone can experience AI. Prior to ChatGPT, AI, it's basically like more research, more domain specific. But ChatGPT introduced the idea of a general foundational knowledge base, which is very, very different. Now, that hype is over. If you ask anybody around the world, whoever has internet connection, if you ask, have you heard about ChatGPT? The answer is pretty much yes. So maybe 2 to 3 billion people heard about ChatGPT. So that's why between 2023 to 2024, so that was the peak of, we call it the peak of inflated expectation. That's the hype cycle. And then now the hype is over. Now industries and governments, startups, culture, military, everybody in these sectors, what they're looking for ways to apply AI other than like a chatbot, because the ChatGPT is a chatbot. So now how AI can be applied to different industry. So That's where the S curve comes from. S curve means it's going to be adapting to multiple industries. It's no longer just a chatbot. It can be maybe building a software for you, maybe a booking a flight ticket for you, or even maybe you have a robotic car or robotic like a humanoid, and the AI is going to help to actually facilitate those the hardware, right? So I think AI is going to be the brain of those robotics. So we are going through a really important phase for the next, I would say, 5 years between 2025 to 2030. We are going to see a really big boom in the AI space. So after we have this hype cycle is over, and then it's going to be a nice growth in the industry. It's going to be slow. I don't think it's going to have like explosive growth that we had in the last maybe 2 years, but it's going to be adapted into multiple industries. So that's why I think AI is going to be widely spread, same like internet. Because if you think about internet today, internet is being used pretty much everything, right? Things that you interact with, social media, services that you access, maybe even the governments, even police, law enforcement, medical science, transportation, banking, they all use internet. And I think in the next maybe 2 to 3 years, AI will be used on multiple industries. I think majority will be using a lot of advanced AI technologies. Now, if that's true, which I believe to be true, the big question: who owns AI, right? Who gets to control the AI? That question is important because we are in this world. AI is kind of like a new intelligence, right? It's not humans, but it acts like a human. If it understands like a human. So who owns all these AI technologies? That's the big question we need to ask. The answer currently is owned by a few corporations. I'm sure you have recognized some of these brands, because these brands not just have the biggest AI capabilities, they also happen to be the largest social media companies. They own larger social media companies. They own large IT infrastructure in the world. So these 4 to 5 companies, they pretty much control not only the AI technologies, what kind of AI products or technologies that they supply or provide to people like you and I. They also have the biggest talent, right? They get the best AI researchers, they have the best developers, they have the best product engineers. So they are heavily concentrated to 4 to 5 companies. Now, this concentrated design, we call it centralized design. That's why as a middle, you have the blue dots coming into a one black dot, because the main black dot is the centralized. But if you think about, other than these corporations giving you AI innovation and AI product to public, if you look at, there's an open source AI ecosystem. So this open source AI ecosystem is called Hugging Face. It's started in the US. It's kind of like a marketplace, and also kind of like a developer ecosystem. So what they do, they gather the brilliant minds, the best minds in the world. They basically come together. They share AI models. They share AI data sets, and then they also like sell their services to other parties, like Google, Facebook, or Meta. What they do, they come into this ecosystem. It's kind of like a Craigslist, or it's kind of like Amazon.com for AI. right? So people can come and buy different things and buy different services. So that's called a Hugging Face. Now, that Hugging Face also happened to be centralized, is owned by a company, owned by a corporation. Now, is that a good thing? Let's find out. And if you think about AI, kind of like not AI as a technology, but if you think about like a weapon, now AI can be used against like it's integrated into the political system. Now, AI, it's the AI war between United States and maybe the other nations. So they're always going to be kind of a display of power. Who has the biggest AI technology? Who has the biggest AI chips? Who has the biggest AI talent? So it's always going to be like a tug war. It's not just the corporations, but is also government involved. Why is the case? I think why it's the case because AI kind of like the modern version of Ark of Covenant. Like back in the history, like the olden days, if you have an Ark of Covenant, it's a very powerful symbol to tell the rest of the competition that you have the power. So AI as an innovation, as a tool, so that's how people are the governments are positioning themselves. Right. Now let's talk about the danger of this current design. Like why is it dangerous? Now, if you take a step back and if you just try to analyze how this centralized control, like what else these companies control other than AI? If you ask a question, so AI kind of like the human 2.0, if you think about it, right? So it's like another human, but it's digital. But if you look at these companies on the list, there are AWS, Microsoft, and Google, and OpenAI. So these corporations, they also happen to have the biggest data centers. So data center is kind of like the way I see it, like the brain, because inside the data center, they have like servers or computers. So computers process information, and all these AI algorithms and training is happening on those data centers. So data centers, if you look at like, thousands of data centers provide the compute or the brain power or computing power. And this is kind of like a brain. It's the same way how our brain works, like synapses and neurons, the same concept here. They're using data centers to fuel and power these AI services. Now, who owns these majority of the AI data centers and just the general data centers are the very same companies. And then let's talk about knowledge. Now, in ancient history, especially like Romans, they knew knowledge is the key. If you have more knowledge than any other nation or any other kingdom, you are in power always. Knowledge is the key. But if you look at today, if you look at Google, if you look at Meta, if you look at Microsoft, they pretty much know a lot about you. It's these corporations, they know about the weather, they know about the financial markets, they know about history, they know about the space, they know about pretty much everything. So that's why the knowledge is also concentrated across those 4 to 5 companies, because they scrap the web, they get all the entire Wikipedia, they have a database of historical records, database of the entire human species, what happened into the species, beyond humans, what kind of animals out there, the stars and space, material science, political wars, political systems. I mean, they collected. We are not talking about like couple of terabytes of data. We're talking about, hundreds of millions of terabytes, if not petabytes of data. So they have the largest data or knowledge in the world. Because if you go to Google and if you ask a question, Google somehow knows the answer. How do they know the answer? Of course, they have the knowledge. It's like an oracle, right? So you have an oracle in front of you. You ask whatever questions you have. Oracle going to give you that answer. So that's why the same companies, they also happen to control the knowledge. They have the knowledge. They understand the context. And then the last part, these corporations, they also happen to have the biggest social media platforms. I didn't include Meta into this list, but if you include Meta, so Meta control Facebook, they own WhatsApp, they own Instagram. They've got some other smaller social media. If you look at Google, Google owns Google Search, Google owns YouTube, Google owns also the majority of let's say web application layer. So these corporations not only have the biggest AI, they also have the biggest data centers, which is the brain. They also have the biggest knowledge concentration. Now they also have the biggest social media applications. And some companies like Google, they have hardware like Android devices, like they sell Google phone. And Android is from Google. And Android is being used pretty much like half of the population, which means these apps can listen to you. These social media applications kind of like can understand who you are, understand your behavior, understand what makes you happy, what makes you sad. It understands pretty much everything about you without even you realizing it. So if these companies, let's say tomorrow, all of a sudden, Facebook employees or Meta employees sitting in San Francisco or Silicon Valley, they decided to become the evil, let's say someone to be destruction. So what they can do, they basically can send fake messages or fake news to your social media. Imagine if it's some sort of a virus, and there's a fake news starts spreading because you're consuming news. Majority of the news now is through social media. You watch YouTube, you watch Facebook, you listen to Twitter, you listen to most of social media. So if you're hearing some news many people are talking about, you're also going to believe that's true, which means these corporations not just have a social media, they also can listen to you. They can also tell you something that you would believe, which means they also have a write capabilities. So imagine like a hardware, like when you store a file, that's called a writing capabilities. But these social media companies, they can write thoughts, images, idea in your head. That's why I call it the social media companies. They can do read and write to the society. They have pretty much wider distribution and control. So now, just if you think about this setup, few corporations, they control a lot. Now, if you ask, okay, so what is the layers? Like who owns, let's say, Facebook or who owns Google, right? On this chart, you see a bunch of people. That's us. That's public, general people. And you have the second layer, you have corporations. But who owns those corporations? Those corporations, majority of the corporations owned by asset managers like BlackRock and Fidelity. These are asset managers in the United States. They have the majority of the shares of those public companies. Now, who owns BlackRock? Like who's running BlackRock, right? So according to public records, majority of the shares owned by Vanguard is another company. Now, but who owns Vanguard? Like who's controlling Vanguard? There's no public information. It could be a one person, it could be a family, it could be government. We have no idea. So now you start picturing what's going on, right? So it's kind of like we all kind of, doing our day-to-day stuff, living our lives, but then we are pretty much like kind of a control, but also in control by the pyramid. And they're always going to say to you, hey, trust us, we are good guys. These corporations, let's say CEOs and like people behind those large corporations, they always say, we are not evil people, we are doing a great job to the society, etc. But don't get me wrong, I mean, what they have done is good things. But what we should be also aware, every big innovation, big change also comes with the consequences and risks. There's no zero risk happiness, right? So there's always comes with some sort of a caveat. So, and sometimes we feel like we are the puppets, right? Because they're going to tell you, yes, we're going to do the right thing. You pay us, you are the consumer, and we are going to control you, right? Because that's how it is right now. Because like, unfortunately, even though we're living in a democratic world, you cannot go to these corporations and say, hey, I don't like these features of your next AI service, you must change. But when you say that to those corporations, do you think they're going to listen to you? The short answer is no. They will tell you what is good for you, and you don't have a choice to choose whether it's using the service, or if you don't want to use the service, you get out. Now, if you look at that behavior or the current setup, it's very similar to what we had hundreds, if not thousands of years. If you look at like Roman Empire, if you look at Ottoman Empire, or Genghis Khan will say, okay, we're going to invade Europe. And there's no question asked. So anyone in his kingdom has to listen. So I feel that even though our life expectancy and also the quality of life have improved significantly, right? Thanks to innovation, better policies, and I think the faith in humanity. However, the structure is similar, to me at least, because back in the days, kings and pharaohs, they said, okay, this is what we believe to be true and to be good for society, and they just do it. Whatever they want to do to society, they just did it, regardless of what are the outcomes for people. And today, with technology, we have the same kind of a structure. If you look at the pyramid structure here, it's always been the case. Like, we feel it. We cannot deny that. And I think this is where we have the same structure. Now, why this is bad? So I'll tell you why this is bad. Now, compared to, let's say, 500 years ago, a king or a pharaoh is trying to control the world. What is the impact is impact only within that region. If the king decide to kill everybody, the king only can kill people within that region. Of course, king can go to other countries, other regions, and start invading, but the actual impact is going to be slow. It's not going to be like within a week the one king can wipe out the entire world. Back in the days, it wasn't possible. But today, I think with the nuclear weapons, with the technologies that we use, the world is more connected than ever before. So therefore, if there is some sort of a advanced AI technology like an agent or AI superintelligence decided to attack the world, they attack those companies first. Like if you're the most advanced AI, as a bad AI actor wants to control the world, what they can do, they can go into those corporations' infrastructure, because when you get into their data centers, access to the brain. When they access to their servers, access to knowledge. When they access to all the social media platforms, they can talk to people. It can also listen to you. So if there is a really bad AI agent or AI intelligence decided to screw the world, or like just to screw up with the world, it can do that. And I think the perfect combination for a disaster, because we have given so much power, so much concentrated hope to 4 to 5 companies. So this combination, I think, is not a good combination, because we are giving them, okay, you guys own the world data centers, you own the world social media platforms, you also own the entire knowledge, but they also happen to be in a race in the AI space, right? Now, what do you think people are? What people do when they're under pressure, right? Because for those corporations, it's a survival. Those corporations, it's about their share price. What kind of a news the Wall Street gonna talk about? What is the latest innovation coming out of Google? What's the latest innovation coming out of Microsoft? What's the latest technology coming out of Meta? If they don't keep up with it, they're gonna go out of business in 6 months or 12 months. So they are in competition always to prove who's bigger and better. So that's the problem. So we've given them so much power, so much knowledge, so much resources. And then we also gave them like a race. Hey, you go and do whatever you have to do just to survive. So when you're given so much power, so much responsibility to few corporations, things not always go well. And if you want a good example, take a look at what happened in 2008 financial crisis. So in that financial crisis, a small group of banks decided what is good for the world in terms of monetary policies, in terms of how to deal with people's money. And they gambled and they failed. And what happened? The entire world suffered. So that is a financial crisis. But if you think about AI crisis or artificial superintelligence crisis, it's not going to be like 2008 crisis. It's going to be much, much, much worse, because we are not dealing with a few corrupt bankers. We are not dealing with a one sector called financial industry. We are basically talking pretty much the entire world. So the idea that when you're given so much trust, so much accountability, responsibility to a small group of people, it always ended up in bad outcomes. I'm not talking about 2008 crisis. I'm talking about like pretty much everything that happened in the history, like from World War II, World War One, any wars that happened in the past, anything to threat for humanity is usually started with a small group of people. And whether they have a greed, they have some arrogancy, they have some other agenda, they start something. They always screw things up. And that's the nature of humans. Like we are good at building things. We also good at screwing things. Now, what's a big question here? So if you think about, if we go down this path, right now we are in the scale of, let's say, advancements in civilizations. Humans are quite basic at the moment, even though we feel we are advanced. But if you think about more like I don't want to call it aliens, but let's call it other advanced civilizations. We are still in type 0 civilization. So there's a scale that people, especially who's looking for intelligence out of our planet Earth, they're classifying intelligence based on how much energy you consume, and how much technological advances that you have. So planet Earth or humans, so we are type 0 civilization at the moment. So the moment that we go from stuck in our planet, and if you go to Mars, imagine in 100 years, in 200 years, we have a settlement, a human settlement in Mars. Maybe some, let's say, mega factories or gigafactories near Jupiter. We will have asteroid mining operations will happen. So people might be traveling between Earth and Mars the same way we travel, let's say, Australia to America. It's kind of like a jumping on a plane and then travel. So if you think about that kind of future, it is happening now. So do you think if we keep the same, the structure, like small companies going to control the current world, because that's what's happening now. If you become type 1 civilization, which means we're going to colonize our solar system, and if you go down this path, and I think we will have the same companies going to control the solar system. So if we survived for whatever reason, and if we continue to progress, I think the current design, the financial incentives that we have today, it's going to be the same setup, which means few corporations going to control the solar system. They're going to control the data centers. They're going to control the social media. Like when you are messaging someone, like your cousin may be living in Mars, you're sending a message, you might be using Facebook for that. It's controlled by the same corporations. So what I'm trying to explain to you, like current design, even if you go 100 years into the future, it's going to be the same kind of a centralized structure. The same structure we had 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, etc. So it's the same design that we have. We try to keep up with it. The issue with this design, it's not a democracy. It's not a democratic system because it's controlled by few group of people or few group of powerful individuals or powerful companies, if you want to call it. So I think from a democratic point of view, not a single group of people get to decide what is good for society. That rights has to be shared among us because that's called democracy. So I think that's why, people in Web3 space, especially in the decentralized space, what we are doing is we are basically fighting for that right. So we are saying centralization is dangerous. Centralization has proven has significant flaws. For a capitalism, centralized systems are fantastic. But when you think about democracy, when you think about transparency, when you think about distributed risk, centralized systems are extremely bad. And if you think about the AI today, we know AI is one of the important technologies today. But if you think about AI, can we afford AI today? The short answer, not everybody. Not everybody can afford AI today. Not, when I say AI, not to consume, but imagine if you want to be an AI entrepreneur, if you want to be an AI builder, training cost alone probably will cost to basically buying a house in Philippines, maybe, right? It costs that much to train an AI model. It costs a lot to maintain the infrastructure. So that's why I call it internet is kind of an AI today is the same kind of a behavior that we had in late 90s or early 90s. It's very difficult to use because it's expensive. And then if you think about like entrepreneurships or if you want to build something, in the world today, the majority are non-coders. They are not coders. They are not qualified coders to actually build something. So they don't have a software development experience. If you look at like someone, like maybe your cousin or your parents or your friends, maybe running a pizza shop, they don't have experience coding, but they are entrepreneurs. They are running a business. So majority of entrepreneurs in the world are non-coders. So in summary, if I were to summarize, the AI is the most powerful technology. It's mostly centralized. People can't afford, and some people can't access. That's the issue right now. So this is the I would say the design philosophies on technology. On the left-hand side, you see centralized. Centralized means it's controlled by few companies or few group of people. So decentralized, the idea here is not controlled by one group of people. It's basically decentralized. If you look at decentralized and distributed, now that power of centralized power of control is now distributed. The accountability is distributed. The risk is distributed. So these are the designs that not just me, but a lot of people around the world are taking very seriously. If you look at the evolution of public infrastructure, so a lot of people, whenever I say, hey, public infrastructure, the first thing come to your mind, something like road or maybe electric grid or maybe railway. These are the public infrastructure. But in the last maybe 10 years, if you think about like networks like Bitcoin, Ethereum, these networks are considered as a public infrastructure. Why is it public infrastructure? Because it's kind of like, it's similar like a road and transportation. You can use these networks to build something, to interact with it. Because if you're using public transportation, you go from point A to point B. Is there some sort of a goal that you're accomplishing? But if you're using a Bitcoin network, you also accomplishing a goal by sending a Bitcoin from your wallet to someone else. So that's why we are seeing evolution of having like a hybrid. We have physical infrastructure, we have digital infrastructure. Now, like digital infrastructure, if you think about evolution of digital infrastructure being taken as a very serious thing. So here's the first use case, right? Internet itself is a digital infrastructure. So internet, like we know internet as a World Wide Web or WWW, but the technical term for internet is TCP IP protocol, is a protocol. And a protocol allow like nodes or computers to talk to each other and allowing for people to build services on top. So that's the framework that we use. That's the protocol we use. So with that TCP IP protocol, it was invented by a military, US military, and then given to public. The moment that is given to public, it's changed everything, right? So the entire internet, Facebook, Google, cloud services, anything that you do, Uber, anything that you use today is built on top of internet or top of this protocol. So now this protocol is a public infrastructure. So it's not owned by a corporation. It doesn't own by anybody. It's just a standard public infrastructure anyone can access. So that's a public infrastructure. And that is during the internet era. So what's a great use case? Similar like a public infrastructure in the Web3 era, that's Bitcoin. So why Bitcoin is very important, not Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency, but if you think about Bitcoin as a network. So Bitcoin network is one of the secure network in the planet. Some might say, well, Ashton, that's not true. Bitcoin network has so much vulnerabilities. Well, if there are vulnerabilities, Bitcoin, if someone can hack into Bitcoin network, you have the biggest prize, right? If you can hack into the Bitcoin network, now Bitcoin network, the total Bitcoins in the Bitcoin network is over $1 trillion. So if you want to hack it, you can get up to the bounty or the price of hacking Bitcoin network is over $1 trillion. So because of the cryptography and also because of the design, network design is distributed, it's very difficult to attack. That's why this Bitcoin network is being operational for many, many years without having a problem. And the other key important part of the Bitcoin network, there is no CEO or a company behind Bitcoin network. Like we don't even know who's the founder of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin network is available to anybody. It's available anytime. Don't get me wrong. I think some people might confuse the idea of having a Bitcoin on an exchange like Binance. That's different. I'm talking about the Bitcoin network. You're interacting with the Bitcoin network directly. If you have your Bitcoin on Binance, that's a separate company holding your Bitcoin on behalf of you. I'm talking about the actual pure Bitcoin platform or a Bitcoin network. So the cool thing about Bitcoin network does not require permission for you to access. So if you have a Bitcoin wallet and if you want to interact with the Bitcoin network, and if you want to send a Bitcoin from your wallet to someone, there is no approval process. There's no sign up. If you go to an exchange to send your Bitcoin, that's different. I get that. I'm talking about from the Bitcoin network point of view. If you know how to set up a Bitcoin wallet, and if you know how to download Bitcoin client, so all you need is a computer or a phone and internet connection. So if you have internet connection and a computer, you can access your Bitcoin network and interact with this Bitcoin network anytime, anywhere. It's available to anyone. So Bitcoin network is available even in North Korea. So if you have internet and if you download the Bitcoin client, you can access the network. It's the same way if you heard about torrent networks. So torrent networks, it works kind of a similar fashion. So now all of a sudden, we have Facebook as an owned by centralized company. It's available to anybody. Anybody can sign up, but they control. They control what goes in, what goes out. They can do whatever they want. Bitcoin network, on the other hand, there's no such a thing, right? So Bitcoin network is, as long as Bitcoin network is up and running, anybody can use it, anybody can access it, and it's available to anybody. And so this is like a Facebook kind of a network, but is designed for money, or is designed for share of value. Now, for the first time in history, that's why this is a very important moment. For the first time in history, we have a public network and a very impactful network, not owned by one single authority, one single company, and there's no management, and nobody can shut down this network. Throughout the history, everything that we experienced, every time if I want to interact with me and with, let's say, someone else, let's say two parties, they're always a middleman. When you send money from your bank account to another person, the bank will be involved, the middleman. If you go to school and if you want to get, let's say, grade A, your teacher, your school will be the middleman. If you go to hospital to get some medicine out, the doctors and hospital will be the middleman. So everything that we lived in the past is everything controlled by a middleman. They're always the middleman. It's like the hidden shadow of everything that happened in this world so far. Now, why Bitcoin network is very, very, like, to me, is like a very important milestone in human civilization, because for the first time in history, now we have a living and breathing digital organism, kind of a digital organism. It's basically spread entire world. It can go to moon. If you have internet connection in moon, you can access Bitcoin network from moon. You can send Bitcoins from moon to someone in Earth. So that's very, very different. So I call these networks kind of a public infrastructure, but more democratic systems or democratic networks. So the reason why I gave you a lot of these foundational knowledge and basics, because we caught up with a lot of like technical jargons, but we missing the foundational knowledge or first principle thinking. So that's why I wanted to showcase, this significance and importance of OpenxAI, at least our ethos, our visions, our beliefs. Because OpenxAI, the way I see it, it's a kind of like a network, like Bitcoin network, if you think about it. Of course, technology is different, but think about like a distributed network. Anyone can access, anyone can go and build something. Like if you want to go and build your AI service, you can go and build it. And anyone wants to access your service, you can go and access it. So you don't need to get permission. You don't need to sign with any terms and conditions. You don't need email address. You don't need any of that. So that's why I think OpenxAI technology and OpenxAI network will probably impact the world significantly if we manage to get more traction. Because we recently launched our project. We've been building for quite some time, like over maybe 3 to 4 years now. So we are a small team. spread across Asia, US, and Middle East. So the idea is quite simple. How can we build a decentralized distributed network for AI? And that's what we built. Now, I'm going to wrap it up by showing what can you do with OpenxAI today. Of course, John going to give you more context on one of the application that we have. I think that's why you guys are here today. But I wanted to show you what is possible with OpenxAI with a good example. And now I'm going to wrap it up, and now I'm going to hand over to John to talk about the Base Media Factory. So this is a good example. This is a very good example. So I hope this example will give you a good idea what OpenxAI is providing. Now, if you think about watching a movie, back in 80s or 90s. So what do you have to do? You have to think, you have to watch a movie, and then you have to take a bus or walk into a video store. Now you can't find those video stores anymore. But in 80s and 90s, people go to these video stores, they scan movies. They pick up a movie they want to watch and then go to the cashier, smile and pay to the cashier. You pick up your DVD or your VHS cassette. You come home, put that DVD or CD or VHS cassette into the player, and you just hit play. So this is what used to be the process, watching a movie. Internet came, it changed everything. So what Netflix did, they utilized the internet protocol, the TCP/IP protocol, and they built a streaming service. So anyone can, instead of going into all these steps, now it became very convenient. And the payments, everything is digitalized. It's not cash anymore. You don't have to pay Netflix in cash. It will collect you in digital money. It changed everything. So if you're thinking about today launching an AI company, so what does a journey look like? Launching an AI company today, I'll show you this. So the stage one is you have to come up with an idea, right? So imagine you want to start your own AI company today. So what does the process look like? The stage one, you come up with an idea. Stage two, you have to build the technology. So you have to build the technology. You have to understand how to set up the technology. So imagine, let's take an example that someone in this group wants to build a chatbot, similar like a ChatGPT, but let's say specialized in Philippines weather, because I heard you guys have terrible weather. So let's say you build a chatbot. You can go to the chatbot, you can ask about Philippine weather, and it give you predictions. Far more accurate prediction than a news provides, or maybe what you can find on internet. Now, let's call it weatherphilippines.com. So that's the website. So now you're building stage two. Since you're a business, you want to collect payments from the users. So let's say the business model of this philippinesweather.com is $1 every month your user have to pay to use the service. Let's assume, okay? I mean, it could be $0.1, whatever it is, right? It could be in pesos. So the stage three, in order for you to collect payments, you need to integrate a credit card payment system. So if you guys have ever built any e-commerce website or some sort of a SaaS services, software as a service, you need to integrate credit card payment system, like something like PayPal or MasterCard, Visa, and etc. So that's in the stage 3, you need to contact Visa, MasterCard and say, hey, I have my new startup. I want to integrate your credit card system because I need to charge from customers, and I want to integrate into my website, into my startup. And they're going to ask you, okay, who are you? Like, tell me about yourself a little bit more. And they will decide whether they're going to give the Visa, MasterCard application able to integrate with your website. Now, the merchant, the credit card merchant or PayPal, going to collect payments behalf of your customer. And then PayPal or the MasterCard, they're going to transfer the money from their bank account to your bank account. But since you are a business, you're a startup, you need to have a bank account. So which means it cannot be your personal bank account, right? It has to be your company bank account. So you need to go and set up a company, because you can't just open a bank account without a company. Now you need to set up a company. And in order to set up a company, you have to go and find a lawyer and etc. So stage 3, even though it's nothing to do with the technology, nothing to do with like building your AI innovation, it's about things that you need to go and do other things. The same way, if you want to watch a movie, you have to go to a place, then you pick up a thing, and then you just hand over money, you get a receipt. It's the same process today. The painful journey, it takes weeks, if not months. The same way in 80s and 90s, if you want to watch a movie, it takes a half of your day, or maybe a few hours, for you to go and navigate the traffic, pick up the movie, come back home. It takes time. It costs more, right? But today you can watch a movie for a fraction of a cost. Maybe while you're sitting in the bathroom, you can do that. Internet changed everything. So what OpenxAI is doing, the technology that we built in the last 3-4 years, is to remove the step number 3. Instead of using the traditional systems, we basically cut that process. So how do we do that? We can show you. I think John can show you how you do that practically. And we also managed to, instead of like coding, we actually introducing a lot more easier way for people to do it, even if you're not a non-coder. So the difference here, if you want to start your own AI company, we estimate it will take maybe 2 months for you to go from 0 to 1. Having an idea, and then your startup is up and running. Now, the problem in Philippines, getting a bank account might be easy. But if you go to some places like Middle East, like in Dubai, if you want to open up a bank account, that would take like few months to get a bank account. And if you go to Africa, people don't even have bank accounts in Africa. They don't use bank accounts anymore. They don't even have a bank account. If you go to places like Sri Lanka, where I grew up, if you speak to my friends and say, hey, can you start your AI company tomorrow? And can you accept payments from a user from UK? The answer is no. They need to be local only. They cannot be global. So these are limitations that we have. These are the pain points that we found. So what we did, we cut the step number 3, completely leveraging Web3 technologies. So instead of having a company, you use something called smart contracts. Instead of using bank accounts, you use Web3 wallets. Instead of using credit cards, you use specific wallet configuration in Web3. So you're basically cutting everything that exists today to basically slowing you down. Is we cut the whole process. The same way when you want to watch a movie and it takes time and it's a painful process, And Netflix came in and Netflix introduced a new concept, or YouTube introduced a concept called streaming service. We're doing the same. So what is OpenxAI network? Like I mentioned, the same way how Bitcoin make money borderless, OpenxAI makes AI borderless. So the cool design about OpenxAI, anyone can launch your AI company, AI service under 5 minutes. It's not weeks. It's going to take maybe 5 minutes to launch your AI company. In order to think about the idea, building the idea, that will take time. But in terms of launching it, it takes like 5 minutes. And then you can provide that service to anybody in the world, and anyone can access without a middleman. So there's no middleman. You can build an AI service, and you can give that AI service to anybody. So you will have a URL, like you can put any domain that you like. You can share that domain with anybody. Your customers, your consumers can access your AI service directly. And then whenever your customer pays you, that payment comes directly to your wallet. It doesn't go to a bank. It doesn't go to anywhere in the middle. There's no middleman, and there's no fees. The consumer pays directly to the user, or a consumer pays directly to the creator or the builder. So we are hoping you guys utilize this kind of innovation and cutting edge technology to actually build something, because I think the opportunity that everyone has with the networks like this is you can start your own AI service, and you can offer that AI service to anybody in the world, and they can start using your AI services, and they can pay you. So you can run your entire AI. You can actually run an AI service from your bedroom. You don't need to have a company. You don't need to have a bank account. So that's the value proposition of OpenxAI. So I will just share this last slide just as an inspiration. Like what OpenxAI doing. So OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, is kind of IBM, right? So they introduced the biggest innovation for AI. And there's another project called DeepSeek. What DeepSeek did, instead of having a large like computers, expensive buildings and expensive computers, is only available to few group of people. What DeepSeek did, they basically brought everything into general, like anybody else, right? So anybody can use AI services without costing so much money. And DeepSeek DeepSeek enable people to afford AI in a cheap, affordable way. What OpenxAI is doing is bringing same kind of innovation, technology, distribution to even like a general public, right? So that's our mission, and keeping AI distributed and keeping AI available to anybody, and following the democratic principles, and keeping the AI open and available. That's our mission. So my slides are over. I think I hope you guys got some insights, some inspiration, and understanding about OpenxAI and who we are. I'm going to pass it to the rest of the members to continue.
So if you listen, Jairo said we have
Guys. Okay, so for the first question, you can come up here in front if you want to answer. What is
Bitcoins, di ba? NFT, example, like picture. Walang blockchain. ah pwede siya, digital na pwede mo through kasi monetary value exchange is Bitcoin or real cash.
so much? Your information to Irish for your prize. Second question is, what is Web3? Yes, please. Okay, state your name and your answer to the question. Web3.
The second era, internet era. An example of this is Bitcoin. We all know Bitcoin has access to everyone. It doesn't have a company. Anytime.
So, in simple terms, next generation internet. So, next question is, what is OpenxAI's mission? If you really listen. Anyone? Raise your hand. Yes? Yes, sir. You respond. Ah, side time, sister.
Hi guys, my name is Alvin. So, ang nabasa na ang awal sa iyo build and deploy.
Okay. Okay, so I think that counts. I think we another answer. Another answer. At least duha ka buok. Okay. Okay. Yes, we can accept that. You give your and also to Miss Ma. You give your information to Irish later for your prize. Another question to the another answer to the question. Sorry. Come here in front. Shy type of table. State your name and then your answer.
I'm Fatima, and the mission is to distribute AI and make AI available to everyone.
Oh, you forgot to state your name. What's your name? Fatima. Sorry. Thank you so much, Fatima. And then last one is, what is OpenxAI token code? Anyone? Yes? Wow.
OpenAI is, I think, OpenX.
Open. Thank you so much. A round of applause for Alwin. Raven. Who was Alwin? Okay. Thank you so much, Raven. So you give your information to Irish for the prize. And then name that icon ta? Yan na. Okay. Okay, so have another mini games later on. So okay.
Okay. Can everyone settle down? You can consume your snacks while we can. All right. Can everyone settle down, please? And please make sure to listen to our workshop, our technical lecturer. We will have another batch of quizzes later. All right, at this time, we'll be connecting with our technical lecturer, John Forfar. John will be joining us online and will also be broadcasting this session on our Facebook official live page. John, can you hear us? Can we have him?
Hey guys, how you going?
We can hear you.
Hey guys, thumbs up if you can hear me.
Hi, John. Sorry, let me just fix our presentation here.
Hi guys, how you going? It's John Forfar here. Thumbs up if you can hear me in the audience. Can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me? Thumbs up. Okay, cool. Let's start the presentation. So yeah, my name's John Forfar. I've been developer relations for around a year at OpenxAI. What I specialize on is onboarding developers, builders into OpenxAI, building with open source AI models, and bringing people through into all the different hackathons that OpenxAI runs, and creating developer tutorials and guides on YouTube. So yeah, while we're here, just search my name up on YouTube, and you can see the link for my YouTube channel. All the previous workshops I run, I try and record just so you can refer to those at any time. Some of those make it through to the official OpenxAI channels. Some are more unofficial guides where I'm just teaching people how to sort of get the best prices for different products and tools, or use things locally on their computer. So yeah, really just there to help guide people in the new world of open source AI. So I wanted to run through a few slides just to talk about artificial intelligence. Now, some people have, they might be in a computer science background. Some might be in IT, where they don't really deep dive into artificial intelligence too much. I just wanted to give a quick overview. So what is artificial intelligence? Basically, it's computers. It's technology that enables computers and machines to simulate human intelligence to perform tasks. So it's essentially recreating sort of the magic of what human intelligence is, and then using AI and computing technology to be able to recreate that. So what the benefits of AI for when applied with intelligence and technology is the way that AI is actually trained, specifically for machine learning, is they take millions and millions of data points about a specific topic. Maybe it's an AI that knows how to play chess. What the AI engineers do is train that model on how to play the game chess, play millions of games of chess, have the AI play chess against another AI, and just continuously learn. And that's called that's an example of machine learning, where you're taking a repetitive data set and then training a model to understand that data set and basically predict what's going to happen in the future. So whenever it is playing the next game of chess, it understands what a good move is that results in a positive outcome. The same thing can be applied with large language models. Again, training on massive data sets. There's a lot of innovation with training models. I won't get into all of the details, but basically there's a huge open source community all around the world, and hopefully you guys can join in on, where there's approximately 2.2 million open source models that people have built and trained and put out there onto the internet that you can use. And you can use those AI models on your own laptop in applications that you build. So it's really powerful stuff. There's a huge community. You don't just have to use the latest Gemini, ChatGPT models. You can use all of these open source models that are free. Free not just once, not just for a 3-month period or 1,000 credits. They're free forever. So this is the value of open source AI. Some of the examples of AI just in the last sort of 10 years, you've seen a lot with virtual assistants. So primitive AI is Siri is probably one of the worst examples, but for Apple users, they have Siri on their phone. Google Assistant is another one. So when you click the microphone button, or you maybe have a Google Home hardware at your house, you can talk to that Google Assistant, which will then help you search or load up the next YouTube video. Obviously, Alexa as well, if you're part of the Amazon ecosystem. So the other ones, examples over the last decade are GPS navigation. So like Google Maps, again, using machine learning, using the data set of thousands or millions of cars going through a certain highway or an intersection. They're able to use AI to help improve routing. So to get from A to B on a Google map, they use a lot of AI to be able to predict the best path for you. And a lot of that technology uses that huge data sets and then applies AI. Streaming recommendations, again, finding the types of music, the types of playlists and genre of musics, and finding out which customer persona or preference is best to apply that playlist to as the next recommended music. And apps like Spotify or YouTube Music use that. Spam filter, so hunting through, again, hundreds of millions of emails to figure out, previously there was a button to just say this is spam, and then like the platform would figure out this type of email is most likely spam, therefore put it in the spam box. Now they're using AI, training specific models on millions of emails, and it's able to not have to wait for a human to say, yeah, this is spam, and then another 100,000 people to say this email is spam. AI can actually be trained up and have a really good ability to predict if this is spam and just put it into the spam box for you. And then obviously chatbots. Previously there was a lot of sales bots, but now we have lots of AI, ChatGPT chatbots, so websites where you can talk directly to the AI. When applied to government institutions, e-commerce companies, agriculture, banks in the Philippines, AI is starting to be rolled out at the government level as initiatives for industry to pick up on and start implementing. There's a lot of savings, cost savings and efficiency savings through the use of AI. So if you think there's like hundreds of people making decisions in an office to figure out where a complaint might go and who to hand that to, which department, AI can also use a lot of that data, that repetitive data, train a model, and then be used as a potential assistant or application for those workers in those, say, government departments handling complaints. It's important to know that when you roll out AI, all of those people that already work there are getting a 10x power boost. So they're able to process 10 times more complaints than what they did before. They'll find efficiencies and, bring whole departments and teams to be a lot more efficient. So it helps empower people in jobs. And then with the growth of AI in the Philippines, there's a massive demand for jobs. So people that are trained on AI, that know how to use AI, and they know how to apply AI in any situation, whether that's building a quick app today, or maybe it's participating in a hackathon, or maybe you have a job at work where you need to create a dashboard for your boss using a spreadsheet data, or maybe you just have an assignment at university that you need to complete. Knowing and understanding the latest tools in AI will help you, really improve your output of the work you do. And the basic idea is you automate a lot of the repetitive, boring things so you can actually focus on the core problem, the creative thinking. So we think that's a massive opportunity for Philippines. That's why we run these events across different universities across the Philippines. I'd also wanted to do a quick discussion on what blockchain is, what Web3 is. So a lot of people might not have that basic understanding, as Ashton said before, of some of these primitives or some of the core building blocks. So what is a blockchain? So it's a special kind of database. So a database is where you store massive amounts of data. Maybe it's customer data, maybe it's e-commerce data, but all that data goes somewhere. So with blockchain, it's a technology where it's able to distribute and share that data across multiple people that are running these servers or validator nodes, so that everyone keeps a copy of that data. It's not just one company. Maybe they have an office around the corner, and if it sort of has a fire, that all of that data is lost. It's not one cloud provider like AWS storing the data. With blockchain, there's potentially hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people all keeping that data as a copy on their server. They might be running that validator server at home. They might be running their own validator server in the data center that they're renting. So this is the beauty of blockchain. So it's a decentralized ledger that stores data across multiple nodes, and everyone keeps a copy of it. So probably another thing that's important about blockchain, it is all that data and transactions are grouped into blocks. And then once a block is locked in, all the validator servers all around the world process it. They make sure that it's the valid data and no one sort of injected fake data into it. They all confirm that it's correct. They sort of acknowledge with each other. And then block one is processed by everyone around the world. Then another bunch of transactions and data is formed, and then they create block two, and then the network processes that globally as well. So each block is sequentially added, and it becomes a blockchain. So what this means is you cannot change previous blocks. You can't go back in time to block one and edit the data that was there. It's permanent, and it can be, it's trustworthy in terms of, because everyone in the world has a copy of it, everyone's already signed off that it's the correct block and correct data, then it's trusted into the network. It's not trusted by a central person or authority. So what type of things is this type of blockchain technology good for? You've probably heard of Bitcoin or maybe stable coins. It's fantastic for money and payments. So there's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week ledger where if Bitcoin wallet 1 sends 1 Bitcoin to the Bitcoin wallet 2, that transaction is stored on the blockchain, and there's no way to false spend or basically lie about that. I sent it to you, and then you turn around and say I didn't send it to you. Everything's recorded on the permanent blockchain, and it's transferred out of that wallet into the next person's wallet. So it's a great way to have a decentralized system that can monitor money transfer. There's a permanent record of where the money's flowing and which wallets have the money inside. The other thing that blockchain enables is ownership. So each person, which is what you'll do today, creates a wallet, and they have a private key or a passphrase that they can store locally on their phone, on their computer, or they write it down or etch it into metal. So there's lots of ways to store that private key. But once you have that private key, only you have access to that wallet. No one else does. So when there's a middleman or an intermediary party like a bank, they can choose, if you do something bad and you already have a bank account with them, they can actually close down your wallet, and then you lose access to your credit card, you lose access to online e-commerce, you lose access to, maybe it's Grab, so you can't get a taxi, you can't order some food. So you're in a real problem state. But in blockchain world, only you have the power and ownership of your wallet. and no one can take that away from you. So it's a fantastic thing in countries where maybe there's corruption, maybe there's a banking system that only favors rich people. With blockchain, everyone has equal access to create a wallet. The great thing of evolution in blockchain technology is smart contracts. So the ability to build complex applications such as lending protocols, or maybe it's archive storing of data, or maybe it's NFT minting, where you mint some artwork or a picture and it's stored on a blockchain where you can then sell it and buy it in a marketplace. So these are examples of smart contracts. This technology has been around for like 8 years, maybe 10 years now. It's nothing new, but it is becoming a lot more efficient every year, a lot more faster and cheaper to use. And a lot more people have wallets. And then the other one is just tracking and transparency. So when all this data is on the blockchain, you have full visibility of where the token, where the NFT, where the data is flowing, between which wallets, which smart contract is it engaging with, which application it's talking to. So these things are all transparent. And this is fantastic, especially in the Philippines. It's, like I said, it's transparent, it's secure, open, it removes the middleman. So this is really important. I do have examples, and maybe I don't have time today, but I have been building a transparency dashboard. So every government department in the Philippines, they have to post their financial records as part of a transparency seal. It's a government initiative. And I've built some dashboards showing that data from all the spreadsheets and PDF documents that they produce and put it out on the internet for free. You can take that data and build your own dashboard out of it. And that's something I've done in a previous video, so you can check that out. So what is crypto? So crypto is money. So when someone creates a token, there's a lot of protocols on Ethereum, on other chains, where it handles the tokenization of money. So you can create a token, maybe it's USD Tether or USDT, that stablecoin sort of backed by US dollars. And whenever someone has it in their wallet and transfers it to another person, there's that specific asset transfer is all tracked on blockchain, and it's kind of wrapped in this tokenization layer, which basically means it's $1. So that's the example of crypto. Again, I'm just doing a summary for those that aren't in the Web3 industry or AI. For those that don't know what gas fees are the small fee that you pay when you want to use the blockchain. So if you want to create a transaction, maybe you want to talk to an application and then submit some money into a liquidity pool, you'll pay a small fee to do that. And what that fee does, it helps pay all those people running the servers that I said before around the world. They get some gas fees, and that helps the network operators run those nodes. And as a user, you're paying that small fee. Now, some networks or blockchains are different. So Ethereum might have a $10 fee to do a transaction. We'll talk more about Base, but Base is a layer 2, which all it does, it makes Ethereum faster and cheaper to use. So really quick, and then it's a very small fee to use it. And this is beneficial for the end user. So you guys can enjoy Web3 technology without paying huge amounts of fees. People used to pay, $100, $200, $1,000 to do one transaction, like 5-8 years ago. Now you guys can do it for like 0.0001 cents and things. So what's the big deal about blockchain? So it lets anyone, anywhere, even in the Philippines, build apps, create businesses, send money to each other, own digital items without needing permission from a bank or a big tech company. So it gives the power back to the users and the developers. So with all that, what is Web3? Just a quick history. Back in 1990s, Web 1 was essentially read-only. So people, the only people that would create content on the internet was a small group of, I guess, innovators and maybe the military in the US and sort of Silicon Valley companies would create a website, create the technology that the internet is today. It was very early days. Essentially, it's read-only for the user. So the user would only be able to go to a website, look at some information like a bulletin board or like a simple website with HTML, and that's about it. So it was just like an information board. Web 2 came out, which obviously is still here, and that means it's read-write. So you can interact with these websites, you can send emails, buy things with a credit card, send pictures or selfies on Facebook, things like that. So, search through the internet with Google. So that still means that a few big tech companies control everything. You can create your own little side website, but essentially it's the big players like Ashton said, Facebook, the Googles that sort of own and run everything that most people in the world use. With Web3, it's instead of read-write, it's more read-write-own. So you have full ownership over the data, ownership over the assets, so the money, the tokens, maybe it's Ethereum or Bitcoin or Solana. You have ownership over the asset, the NFT image, the artwork, and then obviously you have full control and access to own those objects through a wallet. So that's massive. With Web3 and blockchain, this record book, the distributed ledger across thousands of devices around the world, basically means that data is distributed. It's not centralized to one company. It's immutable, so it cannot change if you go back in time on the blockchain ledger. And then it's transparent. So you can use an Explorer website to see all the transactions that have happened over the last 5 years pretty easily now. So what is Web 2 and Web 3? Again, we're just moving from that centralized platform, big company owned internet where you trust Facebook with your data, you trust Google with your data. With Web 3, it's decentralized across small node operators around the world. It's self-sovereign, so you control your identity and your ownership of assets, and basically creators, so people like yourself that might build an application, or maybe you're running a social network profile on Zora. You control that account, you control the money that goes in and out, you can control that data. So it's a very powerful place in the future where Web3 is rolling out. So with Web3, a lot of benefits for Philippines. So financial inclusion. So you don't need your dad's credit card, or you don't need a bank account or credit card history to access something. You can just get access for free straight away with a wallet. There's a creator economy, things like microtransactions or NFTs, where you can create an NFT, build up the value of it, or even create a token, build the value up, and then you can sell that on a marketplace. Job opportunities, so learning all this stuff. Again, it's still a small percentage of the world that knows about Web3 and knows how to build on Web3. So you're in the right place if you're trying to get a job in this new industry. And then lowering the barrier. So specifically with AI, OpenxAI helps you host and deploy apps and build apps, so you can easily be a part of this new world and build AI applications, and then try and build businesses around that. So today we'll be, creating a Web3 wallet. So can I get a hands up if you have a Web3 wallet already? Just put your hands up if you have Phantom or MetaMask or Base already. And then put your hands down. And then if you don't have a wallet, put your hands up really high. 2 hands. So we have a few people that don't have a wallet yet. So make sure that you reach out to the people on the ground there that can help you create a wallet. So yeah, with the wallet, you can hold cryptocurrency assets or crypto assets, NFTs, and then access these applications. So how to create a Base wallet? If you haven't downloaded the Base app, just scan this QR code with your mobile phone camera and install it. So I'll give you 10 seconds to scan that in. Okay, just a thumbs up from the OpenxAI team there if everyone's scanned that in and they've started to download the wallet. Just let me know. Okay, thumbs up. Yeah, just scan that in and install the app, and we can create a Base wallet today. It is pretty quick. Now, so when you open the wallet, so if everyone could open up their wallet, you'll see it on the App Store, whether that's Android or Apple App Store. Just find the Base wallet, install it. You will need to, if you haven't already, create a new key, a new wallet. What this does, it creates a private key on your phone. Now, you don't have to save that or copy paste it. It's just stored in that app locally. But one of the benefits of this app is it can sync up with your passkey on your device. So if you've got an Apple device or even a Microsoft device, similar to the PIN system or the password manager, it can store that key inside the device. So, yep. This is the middle screenshot on this slide. Let me just go back. If you haven't got the wallet, here's the link to download the Base wallet on the App Store. So you got Android or the Apple App Store. Let me know when okay to continue. I can't hear you if you're speaking. Hey.
Okay, hello. Hello, John. Can you hear us? Can you unmute the audience, please? He can hear us.
Okay, yeah, getting a little bit of feedback, but just let me know if okay to proceed. Okay, I've just gone to the next page, and yeah, again, just follow the steps in the Base wallet, add the passkey, which basically can link you up to the, maybe it's a fingerprint scanner. Okay, you're still scanning the QR code. Let me just do that now. Okay, so yeah, scan the QR code and let us know when you're finished.
the and then the other side is for Apple users. Hello, Jen. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So they're still creating their wallet.
Okay.
You know, if
Yep.
you can
So,
see this difficulty.
yeah, let me know when they've finished and we can continue.
Okay, thank you.
So if anyone's having issues, just raise your hand, okay?
So if your base wallet screen, so I'm still here that. Okay, okay. Is it so it's wallet app. So why do we need to install or create a wallet? So this is necessary to proceed to creating an app. So we have the base mini app factory wherein we have to connect our base wallet for us to proceed. Okay, so right now we're creating the base wallet app, and then later John will continue his discussion about how we can build our app through the base mini app factory. So let us know if you're done. So all of you here has pretty okay. Here, how about you guys? Downloading. Okay. Who else? Do you have any? Yes. When you're yes, that's right. So it's pretty easy. Follow the prompt, and then Viola, you're on the landing page of our base. This on how you know you have your wallet. Jen, can you go to the slide, please?
Okay, next slide. I'll start again now.
So if you see this on your phone, okay, you'll know when you created a wallet when you see that on your screen, on your phone. You downloading, okay. Wallet, wallet, and then there's a password. You have to do your face, your print, the page, our base wallet app. Wallet app where we will send you the OpenX. So you have to create your. This is an example of how to create wallet. So for this wallet icon, and then click the copy icon at the top. There's a, and then yeah, you will be seeing there. Can you? Okay, so here is a tired. Okay, no. So okay, so here just copy it. How you copy your. So later we will be asking your wallet address for us to send you the OpenX or the token. And you can copy. So If we're proceed slide, our team will just continue to roll. Just raise your hand if you need help in up. Hear us. Now, John, thank you.
Okay, so everyone should have a Web3 wallet now. And yeah, if you just copy paste that public key at the top right, that's what we need in the future. So store that somewhere or go back to the app and copy that. Before we move on, I just wanted to quickly share a community website that we're building. There is a QR code here if you're wondering. So let me just share that. So we are building community.openxai.org. So this is going to be a learning platform, but also a place where you can do tasks and earn money as well. And there will be a Wallet Connect where basically when you complete a course, you will receive an NFT certificate. It's not ready yet, but it will be ready soon. So I'm just letting you know community.openxai.org is there. We are building, and that will be opening soon. And this will really be helpful for you. Once you have your Web3 wallet, this is an example app that you can engage with, where you actually just do educational courses, finish it, and then you get a certificate that's issued as an NFT into your wallet. So your wallet is your identity, and this is where it stores the asset, which is the certificate that you completed the education course. So it's really powerful. We can verify that your wallet did engage with our app in 3 months' time, and we can see that you got a whole bunch of certificates, and we can see when it happened on the blockchain. And then also, if you're like applying for a job, we can actually see that you've done the certificates with your wallet. And this is a really cool way to verify that you've done things like, completed certification, completed courses on our site. So yeah, use that wallet in the future. You can complete these courses, get an NFT, and it's basically a picture of the certificate in the wallet, inside the base wallet that you have there. The other example, and I'll just link to this on this slide, is basically we do have some video guides and things to do, like picking certain wallets like MetaMask. In our case, it's the base wallet. We've found all the base tutorial videos, so we've put those together as a course, so you can like do that in your own time and learn more about base wallet and all the cool things you can do with it. But yeah, just going back to the presentation now, and hopefully you've got a wallet and we can move on. Now, one thing to do, copy that wallet address that I said is at the top right, go to this QR code and fill out the Google form. And we're actually collecting, registration information and your wallet. So once we know your wallet address through this, we can actually send you things in the future, like, potentially free rewards for attending, things like that. So yeah, please fill out this form, enter your wallet address in there, and we can send you things in the future. like rewards. So you are pretty early. We have launched things only recently, whether that's a OpenX token, all the way through to the base mini app factory where you can launch apps. Then also the community website where you can do education courses. So yeah, once we know that wallet address, we can make sure that we notify you or send out rewards if you've attended this session. So yeah, take a photo. If you don't have time to fill that out now, you can take a photo of this QR code and then just look at it later. So let me know if you want me to stay here or
You paste
continue.
there so you have to scan this for you to be redirected to our Google form. And then in there, you paste wallet address that you copied from your base wallet app.
Please ignore the mini app link for now because we haven't created our mini apps yet. So you'll have to check later.
Okay, for a while. So again, scan code for you to be redirected to the Google form. And then in there, you answer the name of the workshop, which is to find the mini app. Show this link again later for the links that menu, okay? So just address. So paste the base wallet address. The new copy from the base. Again, go to your icon at the bottom. Below. You just click on the copy icon and then go back to this link. Okay. So are you following? Okay, that's good. Very good. I know you're so smart, so you can pretty much do it. Okay.
If you still have the mini app link required, then you just reload your course. You just updated it to that section.
Yeah. Yeah. And then click the submit so that it will be submitted. And then later you can just edit your answer. Okay. For the minute app link, we've already updated our form, so it's not anymore. Later, we will proceed to that section, but for now, you can go to the base wallet app. You paste there your base wallet address, and then click proceed or submit. Okay. Hello, John. Can you hear us?
Yeah, continue.
Okay.
All good?
Are we good, guys? Yeah, skip the menu. Go to the base wallet app, paste your base wallet.
Yeah. So
Again,
this is the create base wallet. If you haven't, please scan
here,
that.
kindly reload the forms if you can submit because we will. All right, Jen.
Okay, so I'll just proceed with the next slide. So let me just find the next slide. So again, you're now part of the Base community. You have access to the whole ecosystem with the Base wallet, or should have. You should have that installed on your phone, and you've created a private key, linked it up to your device through a pass key, and now you can copy your wallet address, and you can also use this app to sign in to different applications. So, and also hold NFTs or money inside of it. So yeah, welcome to Base. So just a little bit of information about Base. So what is Base? It's built by a big exchange in America called Coinbase. So they are a centralized exchange, but they're looking to decentralize more and more each year. And they're doing a good job building an Ethereum EVM layer 2, which makes it fast and cheap and easy for people to be a part of Web3 and crypto and blockchain. So yeah, it offers the same Ethereum security guarantees, but faster and cheaper. So why does Base exist? So Coinbase is a huge company. They have a lot of money. They still want people to onboard, not to just to their website or anything, but they want to see decentralized applications and crypto in general succeed. So they're one of the best blockchains. They're really out there in the community, lots of events, every country in the world. They have a lot of great tools and apps for you to use. So tools such as the Coinbase or Base wallet. They obviously have a decentralized swap exchange and a centralized exchange in America. They have tons of events around the world. They also have a lot of open source protocols that you can use for agents. They have the mini app framework, which we'll talk more about, so you can build quick little apps. And they're very good at supporting the community of both builders and users. So what can you do on Base? The app, the Base wallet, it's an everything app. So you can do pretty much everything in Web3. So you can send and receive crypto through that Base app. So you can send money back and forth. You can create and trade NFTs. You can build dApps or mini apps. And there's a whole app store inside of the Base app, which I'll show you more pictures of in a second, where people or builders like yourself can launch an application. It's a small icon inside of their wallet, and millions of people around the world can start using your app that you just built. So it's pretty fantastic. There's no, there is a sign-up process to get the app in the App Store, but you're just getting a key from their site, and then you get issued that key, and then fill out some information about your app and get it submitted, and it gets put on the App Store. A lot more easy to get on than, say, the Apple App Store, which has a lot more restrictions. So at least we're moving in the right direction. You can launch tokens, so people do use apps like Zora or even Farcaster. It's ways to launch a token or an asset on behalf of yourself and monetize attention to what you're doing, like a social media network does, but more decentralized. You can use smart contracts through this. So traditionally through a website, you'll connect your wallet, and then when you do things on that website, you'll engage with a smart contract. You can run decentralized communities, track and verify data. You can scan QR codes and send money to a certain wallet address through a QR code. You can integrate with other blockchains. And then obviously you can build mini apps that we'll talk briefly about today. So base mini apps, what are they? So here's a picture of the base mini app store that's inside the base wallet that you now have installed. So you can see here there's Coinbase NFT that helps you mint NFTs. There's a trading app. There's different swap apps if you want to swap from, say, US dollar to Ethereum and then back again. Or if you want to trade the market and look at the finance graphs to try and predict when a good time to buy and sell is. There's simple apps. There's a lot more complex apps than that for DeFi. But the main thing is that there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that have this app on their phone, and they can use all of these apps automatically. The wallet's connected when you open it, so you can instantly start engaging with it in a sort of safe way. So that's fantastic news, especially for people that build apps. What's the benefit of OpenxAI using and launching on Base? So we obviously launched a token about a month ago. The OpenX token is on Base. Our smart contracts are on Base. And then when you sort of engage with our token, our apps, our websites, they're going through smart contracts on Base as well. So why? Basically, the end user, yourself, the builder, can do things for ultra low payments fees. You can pay 10 cents to subscribe to someone's app. You know, with Visa or MasterCard on an e-commerce website, it's very difficult to send someone 5 cents. There's obviously a minimum fee that they charge, which might be $2 to $3. And, you know, it's just unfeasible for their centralized payment network to accept a 10-cent charge. So, you know, these things are really beneficial, especially to creators of apps or builders, where you can open up new business models where you charge 10 cents per use, or maybe it's 10 cents per month. So there's all these different business models enabled through this technology. So I do have a video that I would like to play shortly, just explaining what the Base Mini App Factory is and what the competition is that we're launching. Just let us know if you can hear it in the crowd.
We have some major news for creators and builders today. OpenxAI has built a new way for you to take your idea and launch it on-chain fast. The Mini App Factory is here and ready to change how you build on Base. Now you can create your own Base Mini App just by chatting and mint it instantly as an NFT with no complex setup needed. Build your app in less than 5 minutes, deploy it in a tap, and you own it. Your idea, your data, your design. So this is the breakthrough feature. Mint your mini app as an NFT. Now anyone can discover, share, and trade mini apps across the whole ecosystem. And the best part, every mini app that you launch through the factory contributes to community rewards. Everyone benefits as new apps go live. The more deployments, the bigger the collective rewards for the builder network. So climb the leaderboard and compete for the $150,000 prize pool. If you're amongst the first 1,000 builders, you'll get a Genesis NFT for lifetime rewards. The Mini App Factory is now live. Start building, deploy your app, and create something innovative and on-chain today. Our Mini App competition wraps up on December the 4th, so get your ideas in and make every deployment count. Build, deploy, and mint your Mini App for collective rewards. Start building on the Base Mini App Factory now.
Okay, fantastic. Hopefully you guys could hear that. I just did a quick rundown of the Base Mini App Factory and the competition surrounding that. So let me get back to my slides. Oh, here it is. And yeah, just a quick explainer on what OpenxAI is doing. So with the AI engine that's powered by OpenxAI technology, we're able to build the base mini app factory. And what it does, it runs on a bunch of servers that we call X nodes. They run an X node OS, a custom operating system that's open source. And what we're able to do is deliver more affordable AI and CPU compute storage to users. And part of that is giving you a tool to help you build apps just using AI. So you can chat to an AI and use the AI tool to help you build the app. So we're trying to minimize the barrier of entry so you don't have to learn code or software development. You may not even need to open up a vibe coding program like Cursor. If you are interested in more complex app development, just go to my YouTube channel. You can watch all the Cursor workshops that I've run in the past for vibe coding. But with the base mini app factory, you can just vibe code or talk to the AI, and that will help you build the app. And then with the partnership with Base, again, very low costs to use that blockchain, and it is fast. So our mission at OpenxAI is to make AI accessible and permissionless, so no central authority can block you from getting access, can deny your ability to use it, can unbank you. You're using Web3, and then with OpenxAI, you have full access to AI. There's no big paywalls or barriers of entry. The factory helps reduce coding complexity and those, again, high infrastructure costs to traditionally run an app with AI, and you had like hundreds of users. You might start spending, $500 a month or $1,000 a month in cloud hosting fees and AI inference fees. So the fee that you pay to, say, AWS, or the fee that you might pay to ChatGPT, we can minimize those costs by using a fully open source sort of free stack for you to build upon. The other benefit is when you launch an app and it is on the app marketplace, then at the end of the campaign, all of those apps will be minted as an NFT. We're just in the stage where we're helping builders use the new tool, help them launch their app, iterate on the app through editing it, and then we want to have a whole bunch of good quality apps at the end of the campaign, and then we can mint those as NFTs. And the beauty of this, every app is minted as an NFT. It means that you can actually give that app control and ownership to someone else. You can also, as an NFT, sell it. So you might build up a successful app, maybe it's got 100 users, 1,000 users, and you can actually sell that on a public marketplace like OpenSea on Ethereum. So these are some of the benefits of using Web3 with monetization. There will be other smart contracts that can be plugged in the future, such as microtransactions or subscriptions, if you want to monetize your app that way as well. So what the Base Mini App Factory does, it allows you to instantly create and deploy a functional, lightweight, decentralized application or mini app or DApp, and publish that directly on the Base ecosystem. So we do have a Base Mini App guide. So yeah, there is guides, but basically you can create all sorts of different mini apps or simple applications that are lightweight, such as quizzes, trivia, to-do lists, productivity tools, simple calculators, fun generators like image generators, things like that, mini voting, polling apps. These are just examples, event management tools, education tools, even like language quizzes, things like that, if you want to teach Visayas or Tagalog to English speakers. Games as well, so mini games like 2048, tic-tac-toe, slot machines, things like that. What mini apps can't do, which is important to know, and we have had someone try to build it. They basically said, build the next Cyberpunk, I think 2077. Obviously, we can't build crazy graphics, 3D, Unity, or Unreal Engine type games. We're talking about simple web app games that people would use on their mobile. So, to bring that in, you shouldn't try to build something super complex like Cyberpunk 2077. You shouldn't be trying to do illegal or harmful content apps. Anything that's super complex AI, like, within this app, you can build apps that build apps. That's just not going to work either, just due to the structure of it. But in saying that, we did have a hackathon that just finished, and there's a whole bunch of YouTube videos. So please have a look at the OpenxAI YouTube account or my YouTube account, John Forfar, and you can see all the different submissions to that hackathon. They were building complex apps. They were building app builders. They were integrating with mapping tools to find local matcha cafes in their area and provide AI suggestions. So, there is ways to build complex apps. With the base mini app factory, don't try to build these complex apps. And then also don't try to build apps that require private user data. With base mini apps, it's very simple apps. There's not, persistent storage for things like that. But what you can do is have a fun game and then share the results to Farcaster, or have people click the button to share it to Twitter. So you can use tools like that to share that data, but don't try and save heaps of data on the mini app. It is a lightweight app. So how does the process work? I do have a video that I can play for this. So you type into the factory, into a chatbot input. You describe the app that you want to run, and then you launch it. I'll quickly go through these because I want to show you the video after these slides. So it is, fast. It is a quick way to deploy. Obviously, if there's lots of people trying to deploy at the same time, there is a queue. The security and ownership. So how do you log in? You use your wallet. So you need that base wallet to connect to the base mini app factory. And after you connect that wallet, that's how the app identifies you. That's where the app NFT will be stored eventually. And that's where eventually in the future, you can start earning revenue through that app. It will go into that wallet as well. All the app code that you generate is open source. So there is a place on GitHub, which is linked in the factory, where you can actually see all the code that you generate. So we're not taking ownership of anything that you build and create. It is fully yours if you want to take that and use it somewhere else. So, we're not the middleman. We're not there to take that IP off of you. Now, you can go to the website and check that out now. So here's a QR code. I'll just give you some time to have a look at that and scan this QR code. Maybe take a photo if you don't have time to do it right now. So yeah, I'll just let the team there walk around and make sure that you guys have that link at least. And whether you have time to build the app today or come back later, at least you have this link. So let me know once you have that link scanned. Just give us a thumbs up.
create you create by type products.
So what I'll do, I'll just keep moving forward. So just try and get this link, take a photo. Even if someone, the staff there, take a photo of this QR and just walk up to them, you can hand that out at the workshop.
Okay. Okay, so and then you type base wallet. Okay, so base wallet. What does it say? Yeah. Enter. Okay, so after you
Okay, so don't start yet, but yeah, I have this link, and I'll go through a video to explain how to use it.
direct to the factory. If it asks, just do the yes. Have one factories or 740.
What I'll do, I'll just play a video now of the 500 apps while we're waiting for the audience.
1 year of successfully. Later.
So last night we had 500 apps launch on the factory. You can see all the different apps that were submitted. And this was in the first 24 hours after launch. We have 744 now. So quite a lot of people creating apps. A little bit of a queue as well. Yeah, a lot of people building.
Okay, very good. The factory, okay. How about the other? Click of the PK. Then, okay, I can use.
I just wanted to bring that video up, and I'll stop at the 492 page, and I'll explain what that leaderboard is.
So let's wait for others.
Okay, fantastic. So this is a just for the folks at home on the live stream, but also people in the audience. When you open up the Base Mini App Factory, you do have the title screen, and then you enter the factory. Now, one of the things is you can see how many apps are deployed. Now, you can actually see that right now there's 744 apps. This is a video. But basically, you're at the very start. So you have an opportunity to get free Base Mini App, essentially hosting. for the apps that you create right now. In the future, after 1,000 submissions, you will be required to pay for it. Now, there is rewards at each tier as we go from 1,000 apps deployed to 10,000 apps deployed. So you do get to make some of that money back. But basically, there is an OpenX token fee to deploy new apps after the first 1,000 are deployed. There is a restriction per wallet. You're only allowed to have one app for free under the first 1,000 deployments. If you want to purchase more deployments, you can use OpenX token to purchase another deployment slot. And now I'll share a Medium article we've published as a guide. I just want to quickly show you that it exists, and then I'll go back to the slides. So let me just share screen for that.
Okay. So some there like that over there. Okay. So again, when you create app or mini app, it's not the complex apps, okay? Our factory can deploy very complex.
Okay, so we do have a guide, blog post that helps you learn about the mini app factory, what it's about.
Are we can you proceed now? Can you proceed?
So yeah, hopefully everyone's got the app, the base wallet app installed. They're able to record their details on the Google form, and then also they've opened up the base mini app factory. So let's scroll through some of the features. So again, you can see through the blog posts. So just have a look at medium.com/OpenxAI. It's the first blog post at the top. You can compare the base mini app factory to other sort of app builders. Then we start talking about the campaign and some of the benefits of joining the campaign. Now, I did mention before, I showed you the leaderboard. There is the first 1,000 deployments get free deployment. So you guys, your 60 plus people there, the 60 people there should get free deployment because you're within the first 1,000. So make sure you connect your wallet, type in a name of the app that you want to build, and then hit start building. And at least today you'll get that spot, the deployment slot, where you can have a free deployment. That will probably end tonight when it crosses 1,000 apps. Which is very likely. It's currently at 744. So if we add another 60 now, we're at 800, and then there's only a couple of hundred left. Free spots. The other benefit you get for being in the top 1,000, the first 1,000, is the Genesis NFT. So at the end of the campaign, you will get a NFT sent or generated for you in your wallet. And this gives you lifetime access to rewards of certain kinds as well. So you do get extra things like discounted costs for whatever you want to do in the future with OpenxAI, especially the app factory. There's a lot of benefits, and they're all listed in detail in this blog post. Again, we're running out of time, but I'll just want to quickly show you that this blog post is here. Again, you can earn US dollars through deploying an app because you're in the Genesis group as well. So make sure you get in there and get your wallet connected and create an app, whether it's just reserving the name and the slot. You can update the app later. You can also list that app in a marketplace that will, like I showed you before. And then you'll get access to rewards in the future, like this TPU yield program, which isn't released yet, but it's coming. Then again, you can rent, license, and have premium versions of your app. So that's another way you can make money. And then we'll be featuring apps that actually are good quality and putting that at the top of the App Store, so you guys can, if you build something cool, we can help promote that. And we can even do things like community upvoting where the community promotes that as well. So, and then obviously there's sharing in the App Store, so people can share to social media if you have a really cool app. And the benefit of ecosystems is if a lot of people build high quality apps, it brings more people into the ecosystem. So we really want to see builders build cool things and then onboard more users into the ecosystem. Everyone benefits. Again, you can scroll through. There's a lot of stuff here. You can read that after this, but as long as you are aware, if you go to openxai.org, click the blog, or just go to medium.com/openxai. Go to the blog as well. So yeah, a lot of stuff here. There is examples of how, if you're part of the competition and you build the app, make sure you obviously build a quality app that works, then share that to social media. So that's the other requirement of the competition. Again, that finishes in like 1 and a bit weeks. So you do have over a week to keep working on your app and building for the main competition. But yeah, share that on social media once you have something good. Have a screenshot showing the app that you built, and yeah, keep reading through the blog post. Now, once you do have the app running, then obviously update that Google form that you had where you filled out your name and email, and then we can, the wallet address, and then the App Store link. So if you built an app and deployed it, then there's a link that you get. Just make sure you just update that so we can help send out rewards in the future for this in real life event. Now, I do have another video, so I'll get that playing now. And this is just me building the tic-tac-toe app for noughts and crosses. So I'll just play that now, and I'll just pause it and start it when I want to highlight some areas. So let's try and play that video, tic-tac-toe. Okay, I've just added that. So let me know. You can thumbs up, see the video playing. Okay, fantastic. So again, this is pretty easy, but you just add a name for the app. And this is what I was talking about. Once you create that name and hit create, you've got your deployment slot. So you're within the first 1,000. So that's all you really have to do to get that deployment slot locked in today. You can keep editing and iterating on the app idea over the next week. So let's do that. Again, this video does go for a bit. It is on my YouTube channel if you want to watch it afterwards. And then you type in a prompt, and I'll go through explaining that prompt more. But it's a very simple prompt. You don't have to have a complex prompt, but you do have to be clear about what the app is, what the rules are of the game or the website or whatever it looks like. Be clear about the buttons that you want or the text that you want. You shouldn't leave it to AI to just fill in the gaps. You should try and structure and think through the app that you want to build. And then once you're happy that you've created an app, and I'm just showing you an example of noughts and crosses or tic-tac-toe, so you can sort of see the size of the prompt that I used. And we'll just speed this up a little bit. And then I hit submit. And let's just fast forward this. Yeah, it's still playing. And then you hit build my app. So it should be showing the next screen. There it is. So once you hit submit, it will then start writing code, and there is a queue. So make sure that your prompt is thought out. It's not too complex, and I'll talk more about prompting in a sec. And then it will get submitted in a queue. Then we do have a bunch of servers processing all the app submissions and building out those apps, and then hosting them for you at a public website address, so you actually have a working public app straight away, all just from that one prompt that I showed you before. So you let that build. Normally it takes like 5 minutes, and then once it's finished, it will say that it's finished, and I'll just let that video update. There is a link at the bottom where you can go to GitHub and view the source code of what you created. You can download that if you want to keep a copy. So again, we're not hoarding IP from you or intellectual property. It's your property. You can do that. And it is open source. It does generate images for you for the app icon based on the name and description. And then once that's finished, it will deploy. And then once it's deployed, it'll have a public-facing website. And this is an app that a mobile phone can open up and start using and engaging with. So, but yeah, just keep the app simple to start with. So you should have only one app allowed per wallet. So let me know if there's any issues there. But basically the app's published. So this is my example from that prompt, tic-tac-toe. There is settings to connect it to Base if you want to deploy it on the Base store, the Base app store. And there's also settings to connect it to Farcaster if you want to link to this on a decentralized, say, Twitter app, which is called Farcaster. Then you click the button to open it, and then it opens up the app. There is a new feature now where you can go through the version history. You can revert and reset the app. So look out for the button at the bottom, which talks about versions, and you can open that and reset it back to the start, or you can revert back to a previous change that you made. Also, once you open it, you basically have this app, and I just made a simple web app called Tic-Tac-Toe. You can add things like a share button where people can share their score to social media and refer more people to use your app. We will be rolling out extra monetary features like Auto Connect Wallet, where people can start subscribing to whatever app you build. But it's important just to know that the Mini App Factory is just launched, and you guys are early, so you're in the first 1,000 apps deployed ever. So you will get a slot. So yeah, we've got the team there to help. And I'll just flick back to the slides and explain prompting. This is something that you should be aware of as well. So let me just change to slides. Okay. And here is an example prompt. So this is the example prompt that I put in the video I just played. So again, I described all the rules of the game. I wanted to make the simple game called noughts and crosses or tic-tac-toe. So you can specify the grid, what the icons or emojis look like, whether it's zeros or X's. You have to obviously have input from the user. So the person draws an X or O, and then after a second, the AI will respond and put the opponent's X and O, and then they compete together to form 3 X's or 3 O's in a straight line, whether that's horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. So I specify all the rules of the thing I'm trying to build. I don't say things like, build it in Unreal Engine or anything complex like importing external libraries or things. Just try and keep it very simple, and then the AI will build that for you. And I was able to build that app in one shot. So, and I've recorded the whole thing on a video. So the other part is prompting tips. So again, these tips are shown on the base mini app factory next to the title. There's a little info tip thing that you can click and hover over, and it basically runs through the do's and don'ts of prompting. So keep your description as focused as possible. Try to create something using multiple iterations instead of one go. So you can update the app after it's built. There is a pop-up that says your app is now deployed. Once you get it deployed, you can exit that, and then at the bottom there's an input box showing, please enter some text to change the app. So this is how you update the app. Just like ChatGPT, you can keep the conversation going. So some probably awareness of the app builder. It doesn't have access to the internet directly unless you build something in the app to connect to the internet, and that is possible. But at a basic level, you shouldn't be saying like, get all the information out of Google for the latest soccer or basketball scores. That's just not going to work. So just try and build internal games that don't access the internet, or internal apps that don't access the internet. It also, like I said, just use common website elements, like maybe there is a little photo generation or button or text, and try and build basic apps like that. It will get more advanced. So I've already built a dashboard that pulls in information from a blockchain, or pulls in price feeds. So it is possible to do that. But there is limitations, and it probably needs its own workshop for more advanced apps. But just keep it basic. And the other part of it is we just did launch, so you do get free hosting. You get a bunch of benefits for being in the Genesis first 1,000 deployments. But we will be adding extra features like the ability to connect wallet to the app that you build so people can pay you. So, there is going to be cool things like maybe you build a little game and then maybe they get another turn and you can tell them to pay 5 cents for the extra turn, or maybe it's a power-up bonus. So there's a lot of cool, fun things that we can do with that. And you guys will be able to add that easily through AI, talking to the AI. And yeah, there is a version system. So now you can go back in time to the first prompt or the second prompt change or the third prompt change and revert back to that code. Redeploys the app, and you can go back in time in case you cause it doesn't go the way you want it, and maybe something doesn't work and you can't fix it. You can go back to when it was last working, and you can also reset it all the way back to the start as well. Except that the name stays the same. So try and pick a good name in the area of what you want to build. The name and icon will probably not change right now. So think about the name that you're building, and then build that app, and you can keep iterating on that. And that's everything I'm going to be presenting today. So I'll just get the other banner displayed. But yeah, hopefully you guys can see from that information. I have put a lot of, I'll just share one more thing. So let me just go to it. So yeah, find me on YouTube. So just open up the YouTube app, look up my name, John Forfar, That video I just showed you is a little short that's running on my YouTube channel. A lot of these videos do get pulled into the official OpenxAI. Some don't. If I'm just recording a how-to guide that's very simple and I just want to make sure it's out there so people can look at it, I put it here first, and then I get it sort of uplifted with branding and the rest of the team to help make that an official video. But yeah, all the workshops we run across Philippines, different universities around, USM, CMU, different universities in Davao. You can go through and look at all those workshops. Probably one of the big ones is we just finished the hackathon in Australia. So there was 7 excellent projects, a lot more advanced than, say, the base mini app factory apps at the moment, because they're simple, lightweight apps. But they spent 2 months building their app using code editing tools to integrate AI and build really complex apps. So you can check out those submissions because it does have a complete presentation and demo of every app. So if you do want to keep building after the mini app factory competition, build more advanced apps, that is certainly possible. These apps will go into the same app store. Probably mini apps will be filterable, and these complex apps will be there as well. The other one in the Philippines, I talked about transparent government data. There is a whole video talking about the Philippines government initiatives for open data and how they're linking with blockchain to verify the source of the data, so corruption can't exist if all the source documentation's verified on blockchain. And then also all the data's open to download, so you can use AI to build dashboards. So have a look at this video. It's a really interesting one that's relevant to what I was presenting before. So yeah, check that out, and just find me there. But also sign up for the official YouTube and for OpenxAI, and make sure you have all the links from today, and make sure you fill out the Google form with your app name and URL that you get given. And that's all you need to really achieve today. I'll hand it back to the team at OpenxAI on the ground. So thanks, guys. Bye.
So for those, you try to, so again, keep it simple, no? So complex, complex apps or codes or prompts yet, since it's a mini app factory. So simple apps only, okay? So but make it creative, okay? Or able to access, okay? Oh, you're already building an app, okay? Who else is building an app? Okay, there's 2, there's 3. Who else? Okay. So 4, 5. Who else? Okay, for those who can access it, for those who can access the mini app factory now, you have until Monday. So the apps that we will do today. So you have until Monday to submit. Okay, 1 p.m. on Monday. So you have until Monday to create your app or build your app and submit it on the link that we will be emailing you. And then give us some time and we will announce the top 3 builders. Okay, so the top 3 builders will receive 3,000, 2,000, and 1,500. Okay, so be creative in your app. Okay, so make sure that it's not very complicated, that it will function according to the purpose of the app. Okay, so we'll show you later the guidelines. Do we have the criteria range? Okay, for the criteria, we have app functionality. It has to work. Okay, The next one, idea, quality, and originality. Okay, and then the last one is user experience and clarity. So making very amazing app, but not very complicated app. Okay, so we have until um 4:45 at least to create an app, and then you can polish it afterwards. You have until Monday. Okay, so let's try so that we can walk you, we can assist you now. So just try building your app. Go to the mini app factory, and then just go start building your are easy to understand, no? And it's so be precise or be very detailed so that the AI builder from the mini app factory can make the app. Okay, so who's building right now? Okay, so you're building. Is it okay? Still loading or you're unqueued? So some are queued, unqueued, Nourish. Nice. Okay. There's one, two, three. Who else? There's three, four, five. We want numbers. Five. Who else? So you just type the prompt, no? Describe the app that you want to make. Okay. Yeah, it's like ChatGPT. You make me as one do that when you ask ChatGPT. So you also do that when you build an app. So actually, when you create an app, you need coding experience, programming experience. But here, describe the app that you want to make, and the base mini app factory will build it for you for free. Okay, so if you want to create more in the future, it will require credits. But since we're still on the workshop, it's for free for you all. Okay, and the app that you make, the good news is yours. Okay, we don't own the app that you make, so it's yours. So it's just create 4 hours or 5 hours during our workshop. One day to create your app and you can access it now.
Fresh, for a while. Fresh, kas ano ba niya ma-build ang app? Di ba di kan ano man?
Pwede sila ma-edit ang prompt.
One app lang mag-create.
Okay, so you can create only one app. Okay, but you can modify the prompt later. It won't continue.
Mga hayu. Can you go to the web?
Okay, so we're contacting our team. We're also doing multiple workshops. Okay, so many are also accessing to our manufacturing app. So for those who are in queue, just wait for it to load.
Di ba mag-wrap up na lang doon? Okay, okay.
Okay, so follow our official Facebook page and on X so that you'll be notified for our announcements and all the things that you need to. How do we do that? Okay, thank you so much for watching us on live. We will be ending our workshop on life. Thank you so much. Okay, so our no progress yet.